Okay, this is the location of the third house that we lived in this block area
By
here.
the red house.
Yeah, right by the red house. That's not it. It was just a small, very small house. It may have been in the empty lot here between, but it seems to me like it was about where this red house is. And we lived there for probably 4 or 5 months, not very long. Now, this place is the second place we lived in Chinook. And it's where I was 12 years old here. It's where I had rheumatic fever. And it's also the place where I had my first and only birthday party when I was a kid. There used to be, there used to be.
Okay, go ahead.
I was pointing the voice box toward where I'm talking about. There used to be a shed out in back where the swing set is now. And Carl and I, John and I rather, Carl was pretty small, we used to go out there and reenact all the movies that we saw. I remember one was Desert Song, and I have found somewhere or another an old purple dress that buttoned down the front, so I was the chic. Okay, let's see now. Across the, are you finished there?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, across the street is where I spend a lot of time looking out the bedroom window in order to keep my mind occupied while I was recovering from rheumatic fever. And at that time there were no buildings in here. It was just all trees. And I thought that was so pretty, and I can still see images of the trees in the fall and the winter. Don't remember the spring as clearly because by that time I could get up and move around.
What was the story with the rheumatic fever? How old were you?
12.
12.
Yeah.
Where'd you get it from?
I don't know. I was just, it just one of those things that happens. And I was extremely fortunate in the doctor that I had, Dr. Hoon, because he was smart enough to realize that it would affect my heart, and therefore I had to take it really easy, rest, hardly any activity. In fact, at first I had trouble even rolling over. My left knee and my left side were all affected. That's why I had trouble typing, why I still have trouble controlling my left arm. And my right or left knee was swollen to probably 3 times its normal size.
My God.
That was my first experience with Ben Gay. And boy, I tell you, he is one great guy. Of course, my mother rubbing it on, and that wasn't really a detriment either. But I remember many, many nights waking her up and wanting her to put a new wrapping on. And
Wow.
so she didn't have it really easy that summer, as if she did any year, but
So that was about 6 months or so? Or?
it lasted from Halloween. I wanted to go to a Halloween party, and Dad said, no, said, I'll give you $1. You stay home. I don't think it's a good thing for you. And he was right, because I was just coming down with it then. And it was from then until about Easter time.
Wow.
That I was pretty much bedridden. And I remember Christmas here, and my uncle came, and I was trying to crack a nut, and I was trying to hit it with the hammer, And my Uncle Clyde said, well, hold it still. You know, and Dad says, I don't think she can, you know, because I was so shaky.
Wow.
So
That was 6th grade or 7th grade?
I would have been going into 7th.
Okay. How did you make up the missed school?
Teacher sent, well, actually, I don't remember. I know I did have some lessons. There was a girl that lived over around the corner here, and she brought my lessons for me. Not consistently and not all of the ones that they had, but enough to keep me abreast of what they were doing.
Oh.
So I had no problem, and I got straight A's anyway.
Yeah.
So that wasn't hard. My biggest problem was keeping something to read. So poor Mom got shagged off to the library every second or third day. And at that point, they were only allowed 2 books. But the librarian knew the situation, so she let Mom have 2 or 3 or 4, you know, and she picked them out. And first she was sending me these real childish books because I wasn't allowed to take books out of the adult section. But finally she realized, you know, I'd read every blasted thing in the kids' library, so she better expand her horizons a little bit.
Was that the librarian or your mom? The librarian?
No, yeah. Mom didn't pick out most of the books. The librarian picked them and had them. Mrs. O'Brien was her name. She would have the books ready for Mom.